The night my mother tells the story of the thief, I am cross-legged on her lap. Her mouth is inches from my ear. She lets the dusk slip into her voice and whispers about the boy who snatched a mango at the market and ran, becoming the teenager who robbed the shop at gunpoint, shot the blind cashier, shot him as he fell, shot him once more dead, became the man who stole 36 cars. I was born in Nigeria, and I arrived in England first when I was 12 years old. It just felt over the last couple of years that there was a conversation happening in or around who I was, and by that I mean an immigrant. If ever I was to talk about immigration, I'd feel like someone would say, calm down there, you know, just chill. And when apprehended, to be publicly hanged, asked for one wish, his whole lip quivering. My mother, who is inches from my ears, explains his dying wish to speak to his mother. The crowd parted silently. She gathered his bound wrists, kissed his rough skin, her cheeks shimmering in the killing heat. But I came from this Nigerian drive and an introduction into the idea of education excellence, like you had to be best than everyone. And I came from that and arrived in the country where my father and my friends introduced me to the concept of racism and how you had to be, you know, twice as good as everyone else to get half as much. Especially in this country, I feel as if basketball players are the immigrants of sports. And by that I mean no one really pays attention to them, no one really they're really ignored, no one really cares about them. There isn't funding for them, for initiatives to make the game popular. And they just feel like they're the outsiders, and those are the communities that I always tend to belong to. One of my relationships with basketball kind of started out as an attempt to capture a girl's attention. She was Iranian, Persian, gorgeous, and she used to hang around the basketball courts watching the guys play because she, like most of the kids I grew up around with at the time, was really into African American culture, into basketball. And I started playing because I just wanted to be in her line of vision. And I was terrible at it, but I don't know, those guys just needed another buddy on the court, so I began to play with them. And the more I learned about the game, the more I just grew to appreciate it. Poetry is more about liminal moments. It's all about small windows. It's all about the poet's voice, and by voice I mean how the poet digests the world and regurgitates it. And all of that is deeply, deeply personal and clean and clear. And the initial relationship is between the poet and the page, is between the attempt at truth and the truth that is produced. And when you're reading it to the audience, all you have to do, or what I try to do, is to honor that truth. He bent forward, mother says, her mouth even closer, dusky voice hushed, bent towards her cheek as if to kiss goodbye, then switched sharply, bit into her ear, strained against the flesh, ripped the thing off and spat. You should have told me, mother, what I did was wrong.